Hey, I've picked up this Clarionizer Negative Ion Generator for a massive, huge $3. This is a single pack. I got it from a thrift store. It obviously has been used, or I believe it's being used. And interestingly enough, this has 7, not 8, 7 little filaments coming out. For some reason, this one's missing. We'll find out if it got ripped out, a manufacturing defect or whatever, when we open this up. The whole idea behind these things, though, and I'll just bring this in. There's a name, Negative Ion Air Purifier. There's the part number. If you type that in, it'll actually go straight to it on places like eBay, etc. The whole idea is you have a sharp point, or in this case, many sharp points. You have high voltage, and what it does is it creates a negative ions coming out. Those little negative ions attach themselves to dust particles, and that does not make the dust particle fall to the ground. What it does do is make that dust particle attractive to other dust particles, and multiple dust particles then conglomerate together. Now it's heavier, and down it goes. There's lots of health benefits, they say, but I'm not an expert. But what you want to avoid is 0.4 to 2.5 micrometer particles. And so what this is going to do is clump them together, make them bigger. And the reason is yes, that is a human. It's not a bird. Your nasal passage, it takes out the big particles, 5.8 to 9 micrometers. Then your throat takes out some more of them. Quit falling down, paper. Takes out more of them. Further down your throat, you take out other ones. When you get down into your lungs, the larger parts take out more of them, down to 2.1. But the area that you really want to worry about is those little whatevers, because they're the ones that are going to collect the 0.43 to 1.1 micrometer microns. And that's actually going to be the stuff that you really want to avoid. So hopefully what this will do is take these little particles, build them up into bigger particles that then fall out of the air and make your life a lot better. Now, this puts out, is that 500 million negative ion release amount per minute, per day, per unit, per lifetime, no idea. There they go, the 8 carbon heads. So let's just open this thing up and take a look inside. Oh, let's first off show that it works. I'm not sure you might be able to see the blue there. Yeah, you can see the blue. Now, interestingly, I can actually feel a draft coming out of this, and you're supposed to be able to feel a draft. So it is coming out. I took my other wind meter and stuck it in front, and it wouldn't move, so it was too low for that. But I can definitely feel a slight breeze coming out of it. So based on that, I'm going to say this works. Now, at some point, I've got to make a negative ion detector so that I can actually test these things. And also, I'm going to be assembling one shortly from some parts from another one, and I want to be able to test that it actually does work. But, as I look to make sure the camera's on, 2 screws. There is a potential that something in here could be hot. because it all depends on how well it was built. Okay, that's stiff. Spludger number 1. Don't want to destroy this thing. I don't think that pops off. No, it looks like it goes all the way down. Oh, there it goes. That's a healthy click. I get my fingers off the metal just in case there's a capacitor in here. Okay, there's 2 clicks. There's 3 clicks. As in clicks, not kilometers. Okay. Well, there's not going to be a lot I can say about this thing. It's one big potted. Okay, so you got the power coming in. That's fully reversible, so don't count on which way the person plugged it in. Made a mistake. That's a slow blow fuse, 1 amp, 250 volts. I called it a capacitor. Duh. Then you've got it coming out to this. Oh. Okay, so it is an 8 one. This one clearly just came loose and came out. It just friction fits. So that's good to know. Yeah, there it came out again. Okay, I'm just going to do a close-up of this. Of these in here. They're just little microcarbons. Now, I'm not expecting a lot on the front plate here. Probably just a couple of LEDs. I might be generous saying a couple, just to indicate that it is on and give that standard. Oh, wow, that looks so nice. I remember doing a teardown on one of the fake ones a long time ago, and that was all it was one LED. Okay, okay, there's more than just one LED on this. Let me zoom. Okay, first off, is it single-sided? Yes, it's single-sided. Let's zoom down. Well, there's a bit more on this board than I thought. Now, one thing to keep in mind on this is that none of these parts in here are doing absolutely anything other than the light show. The actual over here, the potted box, you've got the power going in on the red and the black, and they go out all to these. So all this is doing is for the light show. Quite impressive, actually. You've got, you've got a bridge rectifier here. You can have it wired up for 220 or 120. You've got a diode here. Then you've got the LEDs. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 LEDs, I guess. Hey, if you got 8 filaments, and even though these aren't connected to them, you got 8 LEDs to make it light up and look nice. And then you've got your resistors here, and take a look what you have right here, an NE 555. So this thing is actually pulsing the LEDs at some frequency. Seems like massive overkill to me. But, hey, whatever makes them happy. Then there's one more diode there. Trying to see if there's... Okay, I got to think about this, because that's a strange configuration there. Unless there's actually some connections underneath the NE555. It doesn't look like there is. I'm kind of wondering if this was actually designed as a multi-purpose for something else, because you've got them coming off over to here and these are going nowhere. Yet they populated them anyhows. That's different. But that's what's inside one of these. Okay, I'll show you the circuit in a moment. But on the NE555, pin 1 and pin 8 are actually connected. I don't believe this chip's actually doing anything. I have no idea, but I'll show you the circuit diagram. It doesn't make sense. Pins 3, 4, 5, 6 are all tied together. If you can explain this, great. But here is the circuit diagram. You've got the power coming in over here. It goes down to a diode, an A71. Comes down to here, then the power goes across. All these resistors are 100K, dumping them across to the LEDs. So this is all connected, all 100Ks. Kind of makes sense, except for why would you have this chip here? Then it comes over to there. Then this part here, well, it goes nowhere. It goes out to 2 pins that aren't connected to anything. Goes to these 120K resistors. So obviously this thing was meant for multiple products, though I'm still totally confused on the 555. But yeah, pin 1 and pin 8 are connected. So that don't make any sense. Pins 3, 4, 5, and 6 are connected. This thing doesn't do anything. If you can figure out something it's doing, tell me, put it in the comments. I haven't got a clue. But I'm pretty sure that product does work. This must just have been for the LED display. They had something for something else, and I'm not even sure why they populated it with the 555, since it's, as far as I can see, not doing anything. Anybody out there has good comments on it, put them in. But yeah, I've got to make a negative ion detector so I can test these things other than putting my hands near them and feeling the draft. But I'll reassemble this and get all 8 of them sticking through their holes. I'm not sure how good that is to have those where you can actually reach in and touch them, but not an expert. Have a good one. This is weird. Bye.